All right, lesson number 28. We're studying the science of passing through the gateways of death to avoid reincarnation. Reincarnation is hell, so we don't want to come back here after death. You know, your soul will get sick of doing this again and again and again, coming back to this human photosynthesis realm of reality. All right, so now, son, remember when I showed you the cartoon depiction of the Egyptian mythology of Horus versus Set? Now, remember what happened? Osiris was king of the land, and Set deceived him into getting into a box and then sent the box down the river. Osiris's wife and sister Isis recovered the box from the king.
So the thing is that Seth said whoever fits in the box keeps it.
Right, and so basically he tricked his brother Osiris into getting into the box. Now when Set found out that Isis had resurrected Osiris, he was upset and he cut Osiris' body into 14 pieces and scattered his body parts all over the land. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? Isis recovered the body parts of Osiris, put them back together.
But she forgot one more thing. And then there's a seed in her that she was
Right. So she turns into this bird. She impregnates herself with Osiris's seed, and they give birth to their son Horus, who becomes Christ, the hero, who battles his uncle Set, who is the devil, to avenge his father Osiris, right? Right, so this battle between Horus and Set, this mythology is actually describing what's happening on the quantum cellular level, right? So Isis is a representation of lactose energy metabolism, because lactose being milk is something that is from the feminine. The hieroglyphics say that Isis provides milk for the dead king. So what's important to understand is the lactose nutrient medium is necessary for the lysis crow protein process in the host cell, which has been infused with the DNA of the phage vector. So the reassembling of Osiris's body parts is symbolic of the reassembling of the phage body parts in the host cell, right? This battle takes place on the quantum cellular level and determines whether or not Osiris's body parts will be reassembled and resurrected as Horus. Horus's mission is to defeat his uncle Set, get Snoopy out the way, to be victorious, right?
Yeah.
And all right, so this is describing the battle of the left arm of the genome versus the right arm of the lambda genome, right? So Horus represents the crow protein lytic cycle. Set represents the C1 lysogenic cycle. This determines whether or not you are going to reincarnate and come back here as another human, or become your own chemoluminescent light being, become your own star. All right, go ahead and read that section there, son.
If one were to compare the competition to Seth and Horus with a particular bacteriophage, the virus life cycle of temperate phage lambda, a genetic control system involved in the action of the repressor proteins, regulating lysogeny virus. Lytic replication would be a likely candidate in matrix 4. We posit that the eye of Horus is the field of offerings, also described as 7 portions of bread or 7 uri. This compares to the left and right arms of the lambda genome with its 7 operons that control lysogeny and lysis, and it supports our developing equation that the eye of Horus is the lambda genome lodged on the host chromosome. That is the prophage Osiris. In the book of offerings.
Right.
Oh, the book of the dead.
The book of the ancient Egyptian book of the dead, right?
The 7 cows who give bread and beer represents the field of offerings. The 7 lambda operons, supporting evidence for the idea that the pharaohs were explaining the operation of lambda. Lifestyles are narrative meta symbols relating to 3 events.
3 events. All right, so read what those 3 possible events are that may take place in the host self.
1, the battle between Seth and Horus in the Island of Fire, as the battle between C1 and Crow proteins determining lysogeny versus lysis. Step number 2 is the theft of Fire or Seth snatching the eye as C1 protein occupying the right of operator site first. And step 3, this is Heru,
which is Horus, Heru, which is where the word hero comes from, who is Christ, the son of Osiris.
The ascendancy of the right arm. Ascendancy of the right arm of Horus over Seth, and as Crow protein dominating the right operator sequences first.
Right. So real quick, so to avoid reincarnation, this requires activation of the lytic cell cycle at the moment of death. So pretty soon in the next lessons, we're going to get into how to activate the code in your so-called junk DNA for the lytic cell cycle to take place, which is the quantum path to leaving Earth to becoming your own chemoluminescent light, to become a star. Right?
Right.
So in the Bible, Seth is a son of Adam. So Seth represents being human, right? So the battle between Horus and Set, is basically the battle between Crow, lysis versus C1 protein. And this means either if Set is victorious, then you reincarnate as a human, which means you recycle and stay right here. And if Horus is victorious, if Set's victorious, you remain a photosynthesis being. If Horus is victorious, you become a chemoluminescent being, you escape the matrix, and instead of reincarnating, you become your own light, your own star.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. All right, so we'll get into further details in further lessons. Thanks, everybody, for supporting us. Much love. We love you guys. Thanks for all the likes, comments, all the support. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot to us. Right? You want to say anything to the people?
Feast.